What if I told you this is the most disturbing game ever made, and I'm playing it with the legend himself? Introduce yourself, my brother.
Sure, I'm known as CoryxKenshin on YouTube, and my fans call me Cory.
Originally it was Kai, but
you are getting very emotional over this game, bro. It's just a game.
It's not just a game when my sanity's in check. It's not just a game, Kai.
Welcome to the twisted world of fear and hunger. A world full of darkness, fear, and hunger? The game has been on my radar since its massive blow up last year, with these bigger creators covering it, but I wasn't sure if it was something I'd be able to take on myself. However, entering this world, it reintroduced me to feelings that I haven't had in a long time. Curiosity. With every time I've gone through the dungeon, with every item I've picked up, every note read, can't contain your fear? Every enemy that I've fought, every single one of these moments fueled a fire inside of me. Who is Lagarde? What happened here? Where did these monsters come from? Why was this girl locked away? Questions that I hope to have answers to in this series. Entering the world of fear and hunger, and I'm introduced to the game mode selection. We got hard, very hard, and F you. You start by choosing a lineup of misfits. Kahara, the hustler mercenary. Darce, a knight born for battle. Enki, the frail dark priest. And my first choice, the alpha male, the monster slayer, the man who never kneels, Ragnvalder. Until I get a parasite swimming in my ass for 3 hours. So I switched to Darce thanks to my fellow Ranas. After choosing your character, you can play or skip the intro. Me, I love some story time and ghetto voice acting, so ultimately this makes you stronger physically and tempers your iron will. Now each of these characters has a minor backstory with choices that we can make during the intro. This will provide us with skills and equipment to start the game with. Some skills can be useless, and some skills could be amazing. From the moment you step into this world, you feel it. Utter isolation. No direction, no help, just a dead horse that's rotting at your feet. Scattered boxes tell of a place long forgotten, and a thick, oppressive fog seals you in, erasing any hope of escape. Fear and hunger starts you stranded in a world that feels like it's already abandoned you. Seconds later, the howling of dogs echo in the distance, growing louder with each passing moment. With no choice, I rush into the dungeon, knowing it's the only way to survive, only to be cornered by the hounds chasing us. These are the hounds, the first enemy all of us have encountered our first time if we did not go inside the dungeon fast enough.
Yo, I swear to, if I seen these dogs in real life, I give them what's that dude? The dog whisperer, man.
Yeah, that's right.
With my experience, I assume that these are like the other game dogs that I've had to put down over the time, and boy have I never been so wrong in my life.
Hit him with the punch him in the face.
Are you serious?
Te pinche cabrón. I died already?
Dude, right, you're a scrub, bro. Get better at the game, you stupid sucker.
This is the game's way of teaching you not to take anything lightly, and to use every bit of knowledge you gain to survive. And so, I do just that. Instead of fighting the hounds again, I spam the spacebar in every single box so I can run inside immediately. At the entrance of the dungeon, there's a book with passages that gives us an idea of what's to come and what possibly has happened to everyone here. This nightmare has taken its toll on me. I'm devolving into something far lesser than the man I once was. All the high morals and ethics have no value here. The things I've done to survive. Putting the book back down, we continue down the halls, but I can feel this foreboding fear. There's this ambiance in the air, no music, just wind. Trying to ignore this tightening feeling in my chest, I search the available rooms and I'm charged at by an enemy. Breaking down
What the f is that?
A bulky, disfigured humanoid creature with...
Is that his wiener? Is that his wiener?
Yay, bro, that's that man's man meat right there, dragging on the floor to you.
I'm about to die. Yo, girl, you wanna get stung by the stinger?
This is the guard. The guard is usually the first enemy you encounter once you enter the main gates. This won't be the only one, as many roam the halls of the dungeon looking to kill or dominate me. The guard currently has a blacked out area because of the censorship mod that I'm using. There's apparently a lot to be shown in this game, so I'm not really sure if this is even allowed to show, so I just went the safest route. Take a look at this section here. Compared to the other turn-based RPGs, where you'd usually select the enemy, then attack, Fear and Hunger takes it in a more sinister direction. You can select specific body parts as well. This mechanic is extremely important, as the only way to survive is to weaken the enemy by affecting their balance and ability to even attack, and that same rule applies to me.
He's dead, bro.
Bro, did he just do that without a head?
Yes, some enemies in this game are able to continue their attack even after losing their head.
I have no arms. What am I supposed to do with no arms, bro? I'm bleeding.
Bleed is one of the menu status effects in this game that can be cured with cloth fragments. But for my missing limbs, that's a permanent status. There is no getting them back. This is where my love for Fear and Hunger kicks in. It operates closely to how real life operates. See, in Fear and Hunger, we don't gain experience from battle. We gain knowledge. Knowledge of enemies and their weaknesses, traps and how to avoid them, status effects and how to cure them, knowledge of items and how to use them, especially with the idea that any mistake can become a complete run killer. So I continue down the corridors and I come across a pretty interesting room. This is a ritual circle.
What is this, bro? What is this, bro? What is this, bro? Sacrificial circle for the... Oh, hell no.
It begins by describing the gods that these circles are made for, starting with Grogoroth, the god of destruction, Sylvian, the god of life, Almer, the man who ascended into godhood. It's basically Jesus. Once the altar describes the gods of this game, I'm given a few choices to act on. Pray to increase infinity with a chosen god, make love, which I think is a pretty bad idea here, sacrifice, which I'm definitely not gonna do at all, so I just decided to pray.
Hello? Like I'm praying for love. Oh, who's this?
Entering the next room across the hall leads me into what appears to be a captain or a general's quarters, which also houses a cage. This cage has a little girl in it.
Stop. Are you okay? Are you a monster? Me! With two stubs. I'm gonna ask a little girl if she's a monster? Alright.
She must be pretty important if she's in the cage, unable to speak, and none of these creatures have even tried to kill her yet.
Let's free her.
The red vial is a corrosive substance that can be used to melt locks and blind enemies in battle. With the little girl free, she joins my party and we both travel in this dungeon together to figure out the secrets that lie within. This is also when I noticed the phobias that our characters have. And it turns out these phobias are presented to us as debuffs in the game for us. Moving down into the dungeon, I come across another guard, and this is where I can finally see what this new character can do, which is nothing. No skills, no weapons, nothing at all. I begin to start regretting my decision, but before the emotion kicks in, this is where we're gonna have some real fun.
Oh boy. Heads or tails, heads or tails.
Big tails.
Tails.
The coin flip mechanic is a 50-50 chance to give you either the best run ever or instant death.
Wow, that was short-lived. You're trash.
I literally just got her. I literally just got her. So we're back to being alone as we continue our solo adventure. I come across some sort of library, and these shelves contain lore, recipes, and there's a few that can trigger a coin flip. You already know about the coin flip, but why here? See, when it comes to chests, bookcases, or other storage locations, some may trigger a coin flip which will give you something extremely useful or a dud. Moments later, I approach an iron door at the end of the hallway to be greeted by...
Alright, okay, and I can see the black areas, so I'm gonna assume they have their dinglings out.
Down the way, I reach another iron door to be opened, and as soon as I enter, I'm greeted by the chanting of priests.
Oh, look! Okay. Alright, great, I put the sensor mod there. That's wonderful. What's this thing all about?
And then there's this thing. It's asking to eat, so I decided to walk away and continue exploring the dungeon. I literally never see this thing again.
Oi, where you think you're going, you pricks?
I've played enough games. Ooh, look at that. Trap. I played enough games. You ever play Halo? And when they go invisible, you know what I always say to them? It don't even matter, because once I see the... I already know where to shoot.
See what happens when you keep running your mouth.
This is why you have to remain focused on the task at hand. And now I'm bleeding, and I took damage for no reason.
Dark. Oh, this is the dude I could have selected.
This is Enki. Enki is one of the playable characters in this game, and he's not really happy to be talking to me right now. I could just punch him in the mouth. Enki isn't really keen on giving us further information about himself, so I use the mock-up book that I found earlier, and I move on. This next area is where we find...
Alright,
Oh, they into some freaky stuff here.
Okay. I come across a man in purple running down the halls. This is Buckman. Buckman is one of the non-hostile NPCs who recently came here on his own mission with a party, but explains that the dungeon's starting to get to his head. So he decides to hide in a nearby room, and this nearby room has a bed in it, which, I mean, in any game possible, that's usually a sign of safety. But saving in this game? Oh my fuck. This one coin flip completely ended this run. After everything I've been through, this is what does me in. Oh my fuck. Interestingly enough, this mechanic is fun for me because it's something that's out of my control that can change the tides of even the most perfect run possible. That, or I'm an honest to God gambling addict. There is good news though. In this game we're able to pick up lucky coins, which allows us to flip an extra coin as long as we hold shift. Meaning now instead of 50% chance, you have a 75% chance to win. After we become butt buddies with Buckman, I enter a room plastered with blood and torture devices laid around in a locked door, so I leave where I came from, but in the faint distance, I can hear footsteps coming closer. Knowing that Buckman isn't willing to leave that room, I chose to wait, just so I can ambush this 4-foot demon man with a Fisher-Price knife. Now I'm like zoomed in. If he got babas on his mouth, just straight coming down like that. This is Trotter, once a noble knight of Rondon. He was captured and tortured for years, which turned him into this thing. So he decides to follow the cycle of pain and become the torturer of the dungeon. Probably one of the easiest fights in this game, even easier than the dogs. Now you don't got no arms to scratch nothing with. Just scratch your balls with your right hand. I end up with the torturer's second floor key to access this hallway, filled with bodies piled up on the walls, floors caked and binded with flesh. Moving on to the next area, the prisons. I find a lever which allows us to access the mines from this meaty hallway, but we'll move on to the next room, the basement, where we'll find big lit chandeliers and it's giving
M'lady.
Moving to the right, this is where I find Sir Seymour, Buckman's buddy. And I know what you're wondering, where's Buckman? Well, this time around I decided to snitch out Buckman since I was told I can get rewards for every person I snitch on. So I decided to keep that to myself to prevent Seymour from trying to kill me. Sir Seymour is a knight under the kingdom of Rondon, dispatched alongside Jean and Sir Cyril to explore the dungeons of Fear and Hunger and rescue the missing Captain Rudimer. Their search party was led by Lord Buckman. Yes, this Buckman. Not much here. I head back to the meaty hallway and I take the elevator down into the mines, and within this darkness lies the home of the cave gnomes. The cave gnomes are winged, gnome-like beings spawned by the cave mother. Extremely annoying and can overwhelm you with their numbers, if not avoided enough. Like with the hunger. Ooh! The caves is also where we'd meet two important characters in this series, Pocket Cat and Moonless. Pocket Cat is a swaggy NPC, but a weirdo. Check this out. He's a merchant in this game who sells very, very powerful items, but not for coin. Pocket Cat is willing to trade any item in his inventory for one thing: children. I have the little girl with me still, and Pocket Cat is willing to trade with me as long as I leave her with him. But I'm not scum, so I keep little shorty with me. Crossing the bridge, we eventually run into Moonless. Moonless is a lone cave wolf that roams around the caves looking for her next meal. But the good news is that you're able to recruit Moonless to your party as long as you're able to feed her 2 raw meats and not attack. But as you clearly see here, the zombie literally ruins it for me on turn 1. But you know what? Look, I have a parasite in my ass for the last 3 hours and I'm always hungry. So the Ranas decide that this run is a wrap and I should start brand new with the knight and focus on claiming the dash skill from the intro. There we go. So I did. See, the point of this series is going to be me relying on each and every one of you to pass on knowledge to me to become a better Fear and Hunger, or is it Funger, player. I'm really enjoying the lore dumps and hidden advice to learn about the mechanics better and further details of the enemies so that I can explore a little bit easier. So please leave me some advice down below or even join the streams. Help me out. I'll listen to you. Starting in the beginning again, I search the boxes as fast as I can before moving into the actual dungeon. Entering the dungeon is where I realized that the layout has changed compared to what I'm used to. This is when I found out that the dungeons have different layouts for every time you start a new game. So we move forward through the dungeon, doing everything we've done, like before, first guards, Trotter, but I decided to be nice to him, which was not a good idea.
Right this way, please. Arms disgust me, especially limb ones like yours. Where are you going? You got no need for arms. Yeah, I know. Thank God I saved, bro. This run has been great.
But this time around, entering the back courtyard where the bunny friends are, I meet Mr. Sexy Poppy himself, Ragnarvalder, and this is where he gives a little bit of lore about himself, especially the reason he's even here. Revenge on a man that he was led to believe is here, and to find a relic that was taken away from him. Fast forward and I'm back in the prisons with the intention to get to the mines.
Ooh. You heard that? Ultra ancient.
Then somehow I ended up speaking with him about his workout routine.
You already know. Big old tree trunk legs, thighs like watermelons.
Let's focus and get back to the mission. I finally end up in the caves again. I recruited Moonless, obviously. Then we started exploring the caves for any loot that could be missed, and I pick up this soulstone near these eggs. Soulstones are consumable items that are used on the bodies of enemies. You're able to collect souls from the enemies, and the type of soul depends on the enemy itself. These souls can be used as accessories which provide buffs and advantages in battle, along with the ability to unlock a skill at a hexen table. We'll get into that later. Unfortunately, picking the soulstone causes a trigger. Walking back towards the way we came, the cave mother charges at us, and this is a 2-battle fight. She's not super difficult, but she's not to be taken lightly. Defeating her once will cause her to run away, allowing us to recover for the moment, and she'll eventually run back towards us to trigger the second fight. And that didn't go as I expected.
A giant bat titty monster bit both my arms off, bro. Like, can you explain that shit to me? How?
Wait, a titty monster?
Yes, a titty monster is exactly what I said.
So you had to fight a titty monster? That's wild.
That's literally what I said. I don't know how she took both of my arms by just biting and nibbling on them, but she took them. She fucking took them.
Well, Sheed, you can't just grow your arms back. You stuck like that forever?
No, I just had to restart the game and do this all over again.
Well, it's the start of a brand new adventure. You can get through this. Just don't go messing with titty monsters this time.
You're right. I'll try my best. Thank you, Corey. You know, I really appreciate you.
Anytime, man, you can do this and you can overcome this titty monster.
I slice off a bat girl's breast meat before anything else.
Whoa. What are you doing in a situation where you need to slice off a Batgirl's breast meat?
It throws off her balance if she doesn't have the breast meat, so that lets me kill her easier.
Okay, I think we're straying away from normal human thoughts and behavior.
But I need to do it for the game. Do you think I should slice off the breast meat or no? I need to slice something off.
In what situation would one have to slice off Batgirl's breast meat? Please tell me the context, El Mao.
She's trying to kill me, Corey. She's trying to kill me. If I slice her titties off, it throws her balance off. Then I can slice her neck off and make sure I get off.
Okay. Context makes this a little more understandable. So you fighting Batgirl, right?
Yes.
And you think slicing her breast meat is the best option?
I'm gonna slice her titties off, bro. I don't know what to tell you.
Damn, don't leave any of them for the rest of us.
Right before entering the actual dungeon, there's this door. This door leads to the hexen table. The hexen displays a skill tree. This allows a player to unlock spells and skills relevant to the chosen character or anything you can unlock later on in the game. In short, it's our skill tree. So I picked up leg sweep because I was told that leg sweep is basically a one-hit kill for all locked doors. So I run back to the prisons and I open the door for Kahara. Kahara is the last playable character we meet, so I decided to take him onto the team since he's willing to come along, and that means the more people I have, the more turns I have to attack, which also means the more mouths I have to feed. Sadly, he decides to rob me and runs away like a little bitch. Back down to the cave and I find an entrance to the mines, but entering here triggers this noise. I don't want to keep bothering y'all. But what was that? This is the noise of the infamous Crow Mauler. The Crow Mauler is a boss encounter in Fear and Hunger. He is capable of stalking the player throughout multiple locations of the game. Think of him like Mr. X, Nemesis, and any other creature that follows you throughout the game once triggered. Aside from this noise for when he enters the area, this ambiance here is too heavy for me to handle. Following along the walls of the mines, I come across my very first character down here, Nosramis. This white-haired alchemist is living and studying in the dungeons of Fear and Hunger. He doesn't seem to be a threat, but something about them seems otherworldly. So I introduced myself in a friendly manner since they didn't attack me immediately. Oh, new visitors? My name is Nosramis. I'm an alchemist living down here. Pleased to meet you. But our conversation is cut short because they remembered they have tea on the stove? Seriously? He gives you a smile that seems almost too genuine. My apologies. I left the kettle and I'm in a bit of a hurry. Let's meet again. Anyways, that was a nice break for me, and I continued forward into the mines and... The Yellow Mage is the only enemy in this game that's able to deal damage outside of battles. This stupid piss yellow toilet paper wearing mage took both of my arms with a spell called Hurting. Yellow mages are mysterious people who worship and channel the blood magic of the old god Gorgoroth. They're a group that follows one of the new gods, Nashara, someone we'll get into later on. For now, Moonless and I will get some rest for another dive into the deep dungeons of Fear and Hunger. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and join the next stream, or leave some advice in the comments down below that I could really use. I want to thank each and every single one of you for watching episode 1 of Fear and Hunger series, and I hope to see you on the next one, or I hope to see you in a stream. Peace, y'all.